In Leh, I met an Italian traveler named Guido, and together we decided to rent motorcycles and explore the area around town. Not far from town, we encountered a group of monks gathered along the roadside. They stood quietly in rows, dressed in deep red robes, clearly waiting for someone important. It felt ceremonial, as if they were welcoming a dignitary or marking an official visit. Scenes like this are not unusual in Ladakh. Religious life here doesn't retreat behind monastery walls. It appears openly, woven into public space and daily movement. Ladakh is a place where distances are deceptive, and riding under your own power makes those distances feel real. The thin air, the wide valleys, and the silence between settlements all register more clearly when you're on the road. We continued riding south toward Shey Palace and Monastery, about 15 kilometers from Leh, in what was once the political heart of Ladakh. Before Leh became the permanent capital, Shey served as the summer capital of the Namgyal dynasty, chosen for its fertile land and its commanding view over the Indus Valley. The palace and monastery complex that remains today was built in 1655 by King Delda Namgyal as a memorial to his father. This was not just a royal residence, it was a statement of legitimacy. In Ladakh, kingship and Buddhism were inseparable, and royal patronage played a crucial role in sustaining monasteries, scholars, and artistic traditions. Inside the monastery, the space is dominated by a colossal seated statue of Shakyamuni Buddha, the historical Buddha. Rising 2 to 3 stories high, the statue fills the interior almost completely. Made of copper and gilded with gold, it is considered the second largest Buddha statue in Ladakh. Despite its scale, the statue does not feel imposing. The expression is calm, restrained, and inward-looking. This balance between monumentality and serenity is characteristic of Ladakhi religious art, meant to inspire reflection rather than awe alone. The surrounding walls are covered with Tibetan Buddhist murals, populated by bodhisattvas, protectors, and symbolic scenes. These paintings were not decoration. They were teaching tools, visual texts meant to communicate complex ideas in a largely non-literate society. Outside, broad courtyards and terraces open toward the valley. From here, you can clearly see why Shey mattered. Fields below, irrigation channels branching off the river, and villages clustered where water made life possible. Nearby stands a large, brightly painted prayer wheel, or mani dungkor. Inside it are tightly rolled mantras. From Shey, we followed the Indus Valley eastward toward Thiksey Monastery, one of Ladakh's most impressive monastic complexes. Located about 18 kilometers east of Leh, Thiksey rises above the valley in 12 terraced levels, its whitewashed walls and red accents catching the light. Thiksey is the largest monastery in central Ladakh, home to more than 500 monks, and because of its step design, it is often compared to the Potala Palace in Lhasa. The comparison isn't accidental. Ladakh was historically aligned with Tibet, culturally and spiritually, even while maintaining political independence. Thiksey belongs to the Gelug school of Tibetan Buddhism, the same tradition associated with the Dalai Lama. Daily life here follows a disciplined rhythm of study, debate, prayer, and ritual. Early mornings begin with chanting in the assembly hall, voices echoing off walls darkened by centuries of butter lamps. One of Thiksey's most striking features is the 40-foot-high statue of Maitreya, the future Buddha, installed to commemorate a visit by the 14th Dalai Lama. Occupying 2 stories, the statue looks outward over the Indus Valley, a reminder that Buddhist time stretches beyond individual lifetimes toward cycles of renewal and return. Ladakh sits at a crossroads of the Himalayas, where trade routes once connected Tibet, Central Asia, Kashmir, and northern India. For centuries, caravans passed through these valleys carrying salt, wool, silk, and ideas. Buddhism arrived here from Tibet over 1,000 years ago and took deep root, becoming the spiritual backbone of Ladakhi life. Unlike the dense monastic networks of central Tibet, Buddhism in Ladakh developed in a harsher, more isolated environment. Monasteries were built high on cliffs and ridges, not only for spiritual reasons, but for protection and survival. From these vantage points, monks watched over valleys, villages, and trade routes below. The form of Buddhism practiced here is Vajrayana, emphasizing ritual, mantra, and visual symbolism. But in Ladakh, it is also deeply practical. Prayer wheels line footpaths because turning them requires no extra time. Devotion is woven into daily movement. Mani walls appear where paths bend or villages begin, gently reminding travelers to slow down, circle clockwise, and continue with intention. For centuries, Ladakh was an independent Buddhist kingdom, culturally and spiritually aligned with Tibet. Its kings supported monasteries, commissioned murals and statues, and helped preserve Buddhist learning during periods when it declined elsewhere. Even today, many of Ladakh's monasteries hold ancient texts, ritual objects, and lineages that survive precisely because of this isolation. Our final destination was Hemis Monastery, set deeper into the mountains south of the Indus Valley. Founded in the 17th century and affiliated with the Drukpa Kagyu school of Tibetan Buddhism, Hemis is the largest and wealthiest monastery in Ladakh. Although we mainly viewed Hemis from the outside, its setting alone makes an impression. Built into a mountain hollow, it feels inward-looking and secluded, designed for retreat rather than display. Hemis is famous for its annual Hemis festival, honoring Guru Padmasambhava, whose teachings were central to the spread of Buddhism across the Himalayas. Standing outside its walls, it felt clear that Hemis represents a different emphasis within Ladakhi Buddhism, less tied to royal authority or trade routes, and more focused on lineage, retreat, and spiritual depth. After Hemis, we turned back toward Leh. Riding again through the valley, the pattern of Ladakh became unmistakable. Monasteries rise above the land, villages gather near water, roads follow rivers and contours shaped long before modern borders existed. Traveling this way, slowly by motorcycle, makes those connections tangible. Ladakh reveals itself not through a single monument, but through the sequence of places experienced over distance and time, one valley and one ridge at a time.